Riding off-road at night is one of the best things you can do on a mountain bike. That's because your old trails will feel like new again when you see them in a different light. Plus, it's a great way of clawing back some time as the days get shorter. But to make the most of that night riding time, you're going to need some good kit and some expert advice. First up, you need some good lights. Do not scrimp here. You need the best lights you can afford. Good lights will let you ride for just as long during the night time as you would by day, and nearly as fast too. So you need two high-powered lights designed for off-road use and not your old torch zip-tied to your handlebars. The handlebar light needs to be the most powerful because that's designed to light up the trail in front of you. So you need something that's 1500 to 2000 lumens as a minimum. The helmet light needs to be 700 lumens, and the whole point of it is to fill in the gaps so you can see around the corners, you can fill in all the shadows that the bar light makes and see around obstacles too. Next up, you need to know how to use those lights. Basically, you want them on full power for descending. That much is pretty obvious. But to save power, it's best to drop your main light to a low power setting for easier trails. Then you want to turn off the helmet mounted light when you're climbing. First of all, it saves power, and secondly, it actually makes climbing easier because the low mounted bar light can pick out rocks and roots in the trail far more easily. Next up is light etiquette. So don't shine your light in your mate's face, they won't like it, and it'll also ruin their night vision for them. And you might need to turn the power down if you're riding in the trees too, because you can get bounced back off the trees and the bushes, and that's going to blind you just as easily. And finally, if you've got a really bright light, like the most powerful in your group, you might want to turn it down a couple of notches because it can create silhouettes of the people in front of you and it can cast big shadows on the trail in front of them. Okay, so these are MBR rules of night riding and our best setup tips. When the sun goes down in the woods, it's really dark, so that's not the time to be setting up your lights. Best time to do that is when you're at home, or failing that, get to the trail early before the sun goes down. Set your suspension up softer too, because you anticipate less things in the dark, you ride through things and you need more grip. Remember to charge your lights as well and to work out the settings. Plenty of lights these days are programmable, so you can get them to come on in the brightest mode or easily toggle between settings. Don't ride on your own at night. It's slightly dangerous and it's also nowhere near as fun, whereas if you get a big group of mates together, it can be hilarious. You need to dress right at night too. It's colder and it's also wetter, so you need to maybe add one extra layer and wear things like waterproof trousers, waterproof socks and a waterproof jacket. Don't ride jumps at night either. It's really hard to spot the landings, and judging gaps, gradients and speeds is really difficult at night, so maybe save that for Sunday's ride instead. And finally, always end your ride in the pub with a pint.